Hello, my name is Nate. Welcome to my art channel. I am working with some Pinata inks on Yupo paper that I got from Fluid Art Co. And I'm working on something. I just want to be a little intuitive here. I have a little bit of a plan, but I just want to follow my instincts, and I want to create some dark structure on the inside, and then with lots of blending and softness on the outer edges, and lots of chaos. I love chaos. So I'm at this point here, I'm just adding the ink. There's no alcohol on the page yet. I'm just letting those colors seep together, blend a little bit, and spread out. And then I'm going to use my little hand puffer tool to dry them out. I want the color intensity to stay as much as possible in the center. So yeah, I'm just using that puffer tool to dry it out, and then I'll get out the alcohol and start blending from the outside, or from the center towards the outside edge. I've laid down 3 colors. This is blue, violet, teal, and coral. I've used these colors together before, so I know that they blend really well. The blue violet does tend to take over, so I think if I do this again, I'll use a little bit less of that. The end result is quite dark, but I love it, so I'm excited for you to see that. So I'm just adding some alcohol, mainly on the outside edge, and then using my straw and the puffer tool to draw the colors out. I don't think this structure, at this point, I'm not expecting this structure to stay. This is more about just moving the colors and blending them, and allowing that center to stay as it is for now. I live in Costa Rica, so I noticed as I was working on this Yupo paper that the high humidity here caused some moisture to kind of collect on the page as I was working it. I used it to my advantage. It helped me actually move the paint out in these little splatters, like that part right there. But I think if I worked on the inside instead of like in the air conditioning, it wouldn't do that. But I think it's kind of a cool effect. And at the end, I did have to kind of use a paper towel to collect all that moisture so that it wouldn't change anything in the end. Yeah, so now that I've blown some color out, now I'm going to soften it towards the center and kind of create some round organic structure to the center. Lighten the tones a little bit in specific areas so that I can begin to build that out. So I think I put kind of 4 little areas here in the center, kind of in a flower shape. I used my puffer tool to blow straight down rather than out towards the edges, so it kind of kept that rounder shape. It's amazing how quickly these alcohol inks dry. It reminds me so much of watercolor, and before I started with the fluid acrylics, the paint pouring, I did a lot of watercolor work, and I really enjoyed that. So this definitely reminds me of that. So I like to stop every now and then and turn my page and look at it from a couple of different angles, and see if the progress, and see if I like what I'm doing. And instead of blowing it out this time, I thought I'd see what it looks like if I just add some alcohol and then let it drip down towards the end of the page. I think I would have liked that better if I had let it dry while the page was still vertical. But I think that's a cool effect that I might play with again another time. I'd never tried that before, so I just wanted to see what it would do. It did create some really beautiful blending. So yeah, I may try that again. But here's something really cool. So at this point, I add in those areas where I had already created that round structure, added some more alcohol, and then I added some copper, and it created a really cool effect. Look at how it kind of bubbles and boils when you add that drop in to the alcohol. I thought that was super cool. It was kind of fascinating to watch. And then on this first one, I used the puffer tool to blow that out and kind of take up all of that negative white space. And look at how quickly that dried. So cool. And on this second one, I added some more alcohol, then added the copper, and then just let it do its own thing rather than blowing it out. And it really kind of looks like the center to a flower. I really love that. That's really pretty. And that's where I decided not to blow it out. I was like, oh, I'm just going to leave that one the way it is. Look how it just continues to bubble and boil until it dries. I think that's super cool. So I want some variety here in the shape. So I decided to move to the outside edge area and do another one that I don't blow out and let that stay round in shape, or mostly round. And then the next one, kind of dead center, I add some more alcohol and some more copper and blow that out, kind of like I did the first one. Yeah, super cool. I love how that did. I also noticed that adding in this metallic, it once it dries, it does not want to move. So all of the other inks will move as you add more alcohol and as you blow on it or drip it, however you want to move it. But those metallics, once they're dry there, they want to stay there. So that's a really good tip for anybody who's never used alcohol inks before. So now I'm just going to review again where I'm at. And this is where I decided that I really don't like the drips as much as I thought I was going to. So I just added a whole line of alcohol and used my puffer tool to blow it out again. I think I do this a couple of times. And in a couple of areas I added in a little more color. Yeah, I think in this spot I wanted some more of that coral to kind of bleed out towards the outer edge. There we go. Yeah, really good color variety there. That's good. And I'm going to lighten it a little bit more, spread it out even more. And now I think I'm going to do something that I had never tried before. I'd laid out some really cool, or really small cups and bowls that are glass. First, I'm just going to create some more softer areas in the center. And then I bring out my cups and bowls and place them directly in some random areas around the center. Yeah, here we go. So first this glass, and then I think I place the bowl next. Yeah. And then these are some areas that I'm going to protect. So I'm going to place them down, and then I'm just going to wash out the whole rest of the painting with alcohol. So I'm kind of surrounding all of these cups and bowls with some alcohol. And look at how that color already is bleeding out and blending and moving. So beautiful. Kind of fascinating to watch. And then I use my puffer tool to just move it all around. So the areas within the glass and the bowl should hopefully stay pretty much as they are. And everything else is going to blend out. Creates a really cool effect. But this is where I really realized that blue-violet, it really wants to take over. It's a powerful ink. So once I blow this out a bit, I decide to go back in with some more teal. Here in the front, the part closest to the camera. And then kind of on the back edge, I add in some more of the coral also. So yeah, I love how that, see, doesn't that remind you of watercolors? So pretty. More teal. All of that moisture that you see there, the big puddles, that's all moisture from humidity in the air. So I think that will be different if I ever do this inside again rather than outside. I don't think it'll do that. But yeah, I live in the jungle, so sometimes you have to adapt to your environment and make it work for you. So most of this is dry now, so I'm going to remove my cups and bowls. And it did stay dry, or it did stay wet, especially right around the ring of the cup and the bowl. And I think that's super cool. I love the intensity that it kept there. But I wanted to kind of soften the edges a little bit and connect all of those separate pieces. So I'm going to add in a couple more of these. Add in a little more alcohol. Dry it with my straw. Look at that. What a cool reaction, eh? And here I'm going to overlap these two rather than, or these three, rather than leave them all kind of floating off by themselves. Look at that. Isn't that cool? I love that. What a cool effect. And I'm just going to use my puffer here to blow out some of those puddles and create some more splatter effect from all that moisture that had collected. And I used some paper towel. I thought it was important to dab it rather than wipe it. I didn't want to ruin any of the effects that I'd already created. So I'm super happy with this. This is the kind of close-up effect. Look at that. So pretty. I haven't decided how I'm going to mount and frame this yet, but I think this is going to be beautiful once I frame this out and mat it. I may cut this up a little bit and remove some of the negative space, but I do like having I want to be able to make sure I show some of that splatter. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you'd like to see more. And go out and pick up some alcohol inks and be fearless.